Happy travels. Are you lying comfortably? Take your time to adjust your blanket. I will wait in the meantime, because relaxation should not be forced. And if you are ready now, I would like to invite you on a journey. On a journey into the city. Why am I inviting you here today? A friend of mine visited me recently. She just came back from her vacation and told me all about her fantastic hike in the mountains and the beautiful things she discovered. I got really jealous. I too wanted to go on vacation and hike mountains, see new things, and explore unfamiliar destinations. She recommended a travel agency from the city to me, while giggling mysteriously. When I asked her what was so funny, she simply replied, "You'll see. It is by far the best agency that I ever visited. But if you go there, make sure to make enough time for it." So I reserved a whole day just to go to the city. I needed to get a few things anyway, so I thought I could pay the travel agency a visit. For the day, I packed a small bag with my essentials: a packet of tissues, a notebook and a pen, my little rubber duck Gunther, and my wallet. I also brought a city map and the business card of the agency that my friend left me. The office's name is Happy Travels. Judging by the address on the card, it should be close to the city center. And indeed, about an hour later, I find myself in front of a large, red, rotating door. From the outside, the building looks like a completely normal office block. Several stories high, large mirrored windows, and grey concrete in between. On the roof is an observation deck and a nice little cafe. I enter the building through the revolving doors and walk to the semicircular reception desk in the center of the lobby. The floor here is made of stone and polished almost mirror-like. A kind of mosaic has been embedded in it with colorful stones and tiles. The walls shimmer like mother of pearl in the soft light of the wall-mounted lamps. But I don't have time to look at anything more closely. I keep walking towards the reception desk, and behind it, judging by the name tag, is a lady. A snail lady. Stunned, I just stare at her for a moment. I really did not expect a snail. This specimen is about 140 centimeters high. Her body is beige in color and has small dark brown spots on the back that almost look like freckles. She carries a shell which is painted with small white flowers. Her name is Daisy. With some effort, I close my mouth again. Her eyes atop the long stalks slowly wink at me. It almost feels like she is asking me what I need. I clear my throat and try to stop my staring. Finally, I manage to ask where I can find the travel agency Happy Travels. Daisy motions me to follow her with a wink and slowly glides forward. Still completely taken aback by this unexpected encounter, I follow her. As she circles the counter, I can look at her from behind, and am amazed to see that a small contraption is attached to her shell, a kind of windscreen wiper that immediately removes the otherwise probably slimy trail from the floor and leaves it shiny and polished. I feel a laugh coming up and stop it just in time. I wouldn't want to offend Daisy. She leads me to the back wall and with her eyes points to a switch there. It is rectangular and gold-colored. Underneath is a sign that reads Happy Travels. Aha! The door must be fitted into the wall particularly clever here, because I don't see any handles or hinges. I thank Daisy and flip the switch. A soft ringing sounds out in the distance, and I wait. Daisy gives me one last nod with her eyes, and then slides back to her seat. I watch after her for a moment, and take the opportunity to inspect the room more closely. Now I can finally recognize the mosaic that is embedded in the floor. It represents nothing but snails in various activities. Some with briefcases, others playing ball, while some are simply chatting. My gaze wanders higher and up the walls, and I have to quickly slap my hand over my mouth to prevent a surprised yelp. The walls go all the way to the top floor, and on it are snails. Yes, in fact, a snail is just now descending right in front of me next to the switch. This specimen is lighter in color than Daisy, with a dark shell and a complex structure thereon. The snail makes a slow turn so that it faces up again, and the construct on its back rotates with the movement. It is a kind of swing, I realize with amazement. It is so cleverly attached that it always points downwards, no matter how the snail twists or turns. I hesitantly reach for the stiff brackets. Should I really climb into that? Isn't that too heavy? I find a small plaque on the back of the snail's shell. It looks like one of those flyers on the airplane. Small, drawn figures show how to place and secure oneself on the swing. The snail's head turns towards me, and its eyes seem to nod at me over its shell. So I gather up all my courage and climb on. And off we go. I sat down in the swing so that I am facing the room. The world below me is slowly getting smaller as we climb higher and higher. I lean forward with amazement and am amused to find that I'm not the only one trying the snail elevator. I wave to another passenger who is slowly being lowered to my right, and he gives me a friendly smile in return. I kept discovering new things throughout the journey, and when 10 minutes are up, I'm almost a little sad we have reached my stop. My snail makes a little curve outwards, and a platform comes into my field of view. I get off and take a quick look around. The platform is set inside the wall, like a small alcove, and fenced off with a metal gate, so I don't have to be afraid of falling off. In front of me, I see a heavy wooden door with a glass panel in the middle. In black letters, it says, "Happy Travels. Your time is important to us." I giggle as I read this. Then I turn to the snail that brought me up and politely thank them. They nod again, slowly turning to the side, and move on. I knock on the door and enter after a quiet click and buzzer sound. Soft grey carpet now stretches out under my feet, and I see coat hangers on the wall. I take off my coat and hang it up neatly before proceeding further inside. Contrary to my expectations, the office is occupied by a person. A middle-aged gentleman sits behind a white table and smiles at me. He gestures for me to take a seat across from him, and I do just that. Together we go through wonderful brochures for possible travel destinations, and he enthusiastically tells me about his own experiences and adventures. Through our inspiring conversation, I completely forgot the time. I must have spent hours in this office, because by then my stomach was growling. When we finally found something to my liking, I felt exhausted, but happy. I said my goodbyes to my travel agent and promised to come back after my vacation with pictures and to tell him all about my adventures. After this nice conversation, I decided to visit the cafe on the roof. Via snail elevator, of course. Parasols span the small, cozy wooden tables. And, of course, snails work here too. I chose a small wooden bench on the left side of the observation deck. From there I can see in the direction of my house, even though it is too far away to be seen with the naked eye. I enjoyed a piece of cake and a deliciously aromatic tea, while I couldn't help but wonder, who puts the drinks on the little trays attached to the snail's shells? Because you have to take them off yourself. The view from the cafe was just heavenly. Colorful roofs and small balconies stretched out in the otherwise grey tangle of asphalt and concrete. I could see clouds, birds, and the tops of trees forming a green boulevard on the main street, and enjoyed the warm rays of the setting sun. I didn't get any other errands done that day. And how my vacation was? Well, that's a story for another day.